Hello there folks, this is Ferenc on board again. Welcome to my YouTube channel, a channel in which I will keep posting different videos on topics regarding introspection, as well as, well, different topics like what it is to become a better version of yourself, psychology, psychiatry, dream interpretation, and well, much more. And being a very introspective person for like at least 10-15 years, the point is that I prefer telling things much more directly and to a greater depth than some of the sources that I've been finding up to date, and they kind of seem, for whatever reason, kind of too surface level for my taste. Let's see. Today's video will focus a bit on the idea of narcissism and a very short idea about them, why narcissists are actually some of, if not the greatest teachers ever, and why is it that narcissists are also at the same time very attractive and, well, not necessarily seductive, but they are very, they have an innate power to draw attention. Many people are still wondering, and it's like, it's something that came into my mind very recently, and well, it was actually quite strange in a way, but yes. So one thing in society that has been going on is that most of the things, if not all of the things that we have been taught, we were kind of taught on the opposite way, because it serves as a way to remind us that whatever we seek, the answers lie within. We are all here to experience our own truths, not the truths of others. And more or less, like, everything is kind of distraction. Why is that? Well, because instead of becoming introspective, like me for example, and other people who have so many answers being delivered to them by the fact that they become more in tune with the universe and their spirit guides and their, well, let's call it the intuition as well, which is the voice of the guidance that we have throughout our life. The point is that people nowadays always seek the truth outside, they externalize a lot of power, they embrace ideas, and they create a lot of beliefs, and belief is kind of nothing else than accepting things without the necessity for proof. Now, about narcissists, the idea of narcissists came from Narcissus, okay, a very old story, right, a myth more like, and it has to do with a person who was so obsessed with themselves that they were pissing off a lot of people, and in order to be punished, the goddess Nemesis, actually the goddess of divine retribution, chose to fight against him in a way, like, not fight him because he was just a mortal, but like, she came up with an interesting idea of punishment, and she had him come to a river and in the middle of a forest, and as he was there in the forest, he said, why not take a look in the river? And well, when he looked into the river, he saw his face, and typically narcissistic, he wondered, well, whose awesome face is that, right? And he wanted to touch that face, right, the reflection in the surface of the water, and for some reason he slipped and fell into the stream that took him away, and well, he kind of died. Now, let's not view this little story as something that narcissists have to go through, okay, like just because they inflict a lot of pain onto you, they must also suffer as well, because that's basically their belief, and if you follow by their belief, they have basically won the war against you. You see, what very few will tell you, or probably no one will tell you, is that in life everything is something that you decide upon. When you have bad people in your life, you decide upon their presence, because the way you act, the way you behave towards people, is how you invite them to behave towards you. So this, for example, let's take this as an example, okay, like in my society, for example, you are taught that you have to be almost a slaver of, like a slave of the old folks, because they have big egos, and it's like everything has to be for them, right? Well, not all of them, but some of them, because, well, in many cases, people, the more they age, they kind of become more, retrograde in a way, and they kind of become a bit, like, not necessarily narcissistic, but, they become a bit bad, okay? They pull out some traits, right? All their misaccomplishments, which again were just choices. They were just choices because they chose not to do all the things that they could have done, and now they go through a lot of pain. Because the point is, if you are not authentic, you will go through pain. You will have to suffer. You must suffer if you are not authentic. And of course, this is not something that I have decided. This is how the universe works. If you have people who suffer around, just look at them. How many beliefs do they have? And again, I repeat, a belief is something that you accept without a necessity for proof. And just look at the adults. They always say that they know everything, but that's just a belief. No one in the world knows anything. The more introspective you become, the more you'll realize that you know shit, you don't know anything. There's so much more to learn. So, the wiser the people are, you'll see that they will say they actually know nothing. Because there is an effect in psychology, I think it's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. The less you know, the more you think you know. And that's how many people end up lying. Now, another thing that you have been taught for sure in reverse is that, narcissists lie and manipulate. Now, the problem with lying is that, well, you see, it has to differ per individual. Why is that? Well, because you see, the narcissist, the authentic one, okay, that is called a disorder. So a disorder is something normal, but it functions a bit different. Now, what is normal? We have been taught that normal is the given set of rules, regulations, and beliefs that we must take into account, and it goes very, very deep. Okay, it has to do with astral parasites that have been controlling humanity for a long time. Even your parents most likely are under the control of the such, because you will see the more introspective you become, in most people's cases, their parents' role is to keep them down. The moment you want to do something, everything in this world is turning against you. The moment you want to do something for yourself and live outside of the complexes that, the beliefs that people around you have been living in and embracing, because no one basically wants to do anything for their life. It's much easier to stay where you are. Okay, so this also is a type of narcissism. Okay, society nourishes narcissists and sociopaths because they are born to traumas. Traumas cause a lot of pain, and well, pain is a feast for parasitic entities. And in most of the cases, narcissistic people will cause a lot of traumas, and well, the children that are raised in such families will most likely end up like their parents. Or if not, they will not become abusive in the way of aggression, they'll most likely become abusive in the sense of overprotection, which is another sort of abuse. And, whatever way you put it, most people will become like that. Now, it's all been in divine order because the universe doesn't allow things to happen, outside of what it has been preordained. Okay, so many people choose to experience what narcissism is like and what it is like to be, exploited by such people. Now the question is, are narcissists really liars? Now what I want to tell through this video, and we'll wrap it up after this, is that narcissists are not exactly liars. You see, the reason why you have narcissists in your life is that you are the liar, not them. Okay, they are authentic through what they are. Okay, they are authentic because they are who they are. It is a disorder, but let's not forget that all the words we have created and the meanings that we have given them are just constructs of our own. And it's easy to change the meaning of a word, and the later generations will take it as such, or meanings are changed anyways. Some meanings appear, some meanings disappear, and so on and so forth. But we call it a disorder because, well, that's how we want to treat it. Okay, that's something normal. Narcissists have always existed. They are a flag bearer of this 3D consciousness that we live in. Okay, They are a representative of one of the situations in which your inner power is not working. And when people have no control over their own lives, they will seek to be controlled or to control others. It's as simple as that. Now, the point about narcissists is that actually they are the best teachers for people who are highly emotional and especially highly empathic. Okay? The pain that you are feeling is actually their own pain. The way I see narcissists is like being a shuttle not far away from the edge of a black hole while trying to evade all the possible forces that want to pull you in. And that black hole is basically the narcissism itself, because it's nothing, just like a black hole. Science will teach you all sorts of crap that, black holes are matter, they are molten stuff, they are dark matter, they are simply nothing. Okay? Black holes are simply nothing. They exist and don't exist at the same time. They are just pure force, and just that. Like, that is something that I can give from own introspection. I would like to remind people to take everything I say with a grain of salt. So narcissists are a very good teacher because they teach you actually what it means to love yourself. Everything that they do is because all their emotions are at so low vibration that basically they cannot perceive literally anything. Another stupid thing that you will be taught, most likely even by psychiatrists, and that's a belief of theirs, is that narcissists don't have any emotions. Quite on the contrary, I assure you they have. There is nothing in this world that doesn't have emotion, because emotion is energy in motion. Check out my other videos about similar ideas and you will find in some of those, because usually I talk around the topics just to bring a few more ideas into cohesion. Everything that we manifest, every thought that we give, every thought that we come up with, it creates a burst of emotion that goes as a shockwave outwards. And highly emotional people, highly sensitive people, they can actually feel the emotions of others. And the gut feeling usually feels that. But most people unfortunately have been, denying themselves that ability and have simply shut down their emotions in a way or another, and they have become emotionally numb, which in a way is kind of synonymous to death. Because when you are on your deathbed, the only thing that you remember in your life is your emotions. All the memories that you remember at the end of your life are because you have put some emotional attachment to those. And narcissists are just a reminder of how much you have to love yourself, because everything in them is ultra low vibration. That is how they chose to experience life. And the reason why you have some in your life is because, well, you probably chose what it is like to be under the influence of some. And, well, the greatest diamonds in the world will always be forged after going through, intense pressures, right? The diamonds of the world have always been created by the greatest pressures that this planet can create, right? So, point be said, they are very good teachers, and they always remind you that you have to take care of yourself. You have to stop externalizing your power, because that's the first point that they will target. They will use all sorts of tactics. They will distort reality. They will keep lying on all sorts of things. But let's not forget one thing. All the gaslighting, all the things that they will do, they do that because they are authentic. They don't fake that. Okay? This is something that's gonna be very hard to gorge by many people. But the point is, well, you see, they are authentic in that. They are authentic for one reason. They are authentic because that's how they work. That's their mechanic. If someone is non-narcissist, they will have a hard time becoming one, because they have a different preordained mechanic. They have a different aspect of, like inner functioning. It's not probably hard to imitate a narcissist, but it's easy to pull out the real one from the fake ones. Because the narcissist, being so authentic, by nature they will be very attractive, because people will always be attracted by other people who are authentic to themselves. Okay, like look at famous people, right? People who are very good public speakers. Those people are very authentic to themselves. They are almost the best versions of themselves, if not the best version of themselves. And You can see how happy they are in some cases, not all. Okay, you have to see beyond that. Not because someone is rich they are happy. They are happy because they are living the life of their dreams. They are living what they wanted to do, and they have turned their passions into a lifestyle. So you will see that the way they speak, the way they share information, that's genuine. And being genuine and authentic, that's, I think, the most irresistible thing, naturally speaking. Okay? So that is why actually narcissists are so, so attractive. It's because they are authentic. And you don't need to, do psychology or psychiatry to figure out that someone is authentic. The moment you have this, attraction towards them, most likely, but not in all cases, most likely they are authentic to themselves. On the other hand, it could be, like sexual parasites or other types of, entities and demons that are doing their best, right, to lower your awareness and your guard and to combine you with such people, because there's always such entities that make sure that the vibration of that individual stays low. Because in order to experience narcissism, you need like a lot of helpers. Each one of us, when we come in this world, we have our own helpers. But the point is, if you want to experience something really, really low in vibration, you will need a lot of lower entities and parasites that will stay with you as long as you live, because, well, when you want to experience something bad, you need to have your awareness brought down in such a way, or in certain aspects of it, so that you don't become conscious of how much pain you induce others. But also the pain that you induce others will also be reflected upon yourself, because, as I said, emotion is energy in motion. When you cause pain into others, they are causing distress waves, which are emotional waves. Okay, they are like shock waves. So wherever you are, those shock waves will also impregnate you with their pain. So basically, since information is, well, memory, and memory is karma, that when you are inducing pain on others, you're doing nothing else and also impregnating yourself with the karma, which is nothing else than memory. Okay, and every time you induce pain on others, you also get a lot of pain from them back. It's exactly the same thing like eating animal meat, because those animals being killed, they have a lot of fear, and that fear, the hormone of fear, is so stable that basically nothing, I don't think there's any acid in this world that can desynthesize it, and not even our stomach can. And mammalian, and I think even reptilian hormones have almost the same structure. So if you're experiencing a lot of fears after you have eaten meat, or if you eat a lot of meat generally, that fear is most likely not yours. It is the same hormone that you have taken from animals, because before they were killed, they did manifest fear, which is natural. So narcissists also create a lot of karma on themselves. That is a reason why they also have, in a way, to suffer. But they don't suffer because of the karma that they are gaining, okay? Which is something most likely they will cure in other lives, or they have, a lot of positive karma that they balance out through this negativity that they will shed left and right through experiencing life as a narcissistic person. So you see, they won't be gaining too much karma because they are authentic to themselves. They are authentic to themselves. They think to themselves the most, but that's how authentic people work. You have to think for yourself. And again, this is something that we have been taught in reverse. We have been taught to become people pleasers because that's what feeds narcissism. Narcissists will always be, like instinctively drawn towards, towards people pleasers, and dogs as well. When a dog comes to you and waggles their tails and makes those big puppy eyes that they want food from you, they do that because they see you as a sucker, not because they like you. Dogs don't like you. Animals don't necessarily like you. Sure, if you feed them and if you show them some care, they might actually, take you into account more, but don't forget that they are more instinctual. If you don't believe me about this, talk to experienced dog trainers, and if they can't tell you this, well, you can start doubting their skills a bit. Okay, so Having told about this, I want to wrap this video because I don't want to make it excessively long. Um, as usual, take more care of yourselves. You are loved and appreciated. Feel free to like and subscribe if you are interested in the type of content that I'm creating. And as usual, the Range on Board signing out.